Raven Street was always quiet, even during the day. At night, it became a place of eerie stillness, where the faintest sound seemed amplified. The residents knew better than to wander after dark, especially since the old McAllister house was abandoned. They whispered about it, how the previous owners had vanished without a trace, leaving everything behind. No one dared approach it, except for Jake, a rebellious teenager new to the neighborhood. He scoffed at the warnings and ghost stories, eager to prove they were just that, stories. One moonless night, he decided to explore the McAllister house. As he approached, the house loomed ominously, its windows like empty eyes staring into the soul. The door creaked open, almost welcoming him inside. Jake stepped in, flashlight in hand, illuminating a dusty hallway lined with old portraits. The air was thick, the silence deafening. He ventured deeper, the floorboards groaning under his weight. As he reached the living room, the temperature dropped suddenly. His breath came out in visible puffs. The flashlight flickered and then died, plunging him into darkness. Panic set in. He fumbled with the flashlight, but it refused to turn back on. A faint, rhythmic tapping echoed from the floor above. He strained to listen. Jake's heart raced. He backed away toward the door, but it slammed shut with a force that shook the house. The tapping stopped. In its place came a whisper, soft and indistinct at first, then louder, more insistent. It seemed to come from all directions. "Get out!" Jake turned and ran toward the staircase, hoping to find another way out. But as he reached the top, he froze. Standing at the end of the hallway was a shadowy figure, its face obscured by darkness. It moved toward him, slowly, deliberately. Jake stumbled back, but the floor beneath him gave way, sending him crashing into the basement. He lay there, dazed, as the figure loomed above him. The whispers surrounded him, growing into a chorus of malevolent voices. As he tried to scream, the darkness swallowed him whole. The next morning, the sun rose over Raven Street, the silence once again settling over the neighborhood. But something was different. In the McAllister house, if one looked closely, they could see a new portrait on the wall, a terrified boy, frozen in fear, his eyes wide with horror. And if you listened closely at night, you could hear the faint sound of tapping and a whisper, "Get out!"